Hi, I'm Grice, CEO of National Seniors Australia. I'm delighted to be joined today by NSA Chair Ross Glossop and 2025 Senior Australian of the Year, Brother Oliver Pickett AM. As the fearless defender, protector and promoter of seniors' interests, NSA does so much more than advocate for the needs of older Australians. We also celebrate their value and contribution to work such as our Experience Matters campaign, a campaign designed to promote the benefits of wisdom, insight and knowledge gained through a lifetime of experience. It underpins all that NSA proudly promotes and supports.
That's right, Chris. In fact, according to the government's intergenerational report, the number of people aged 65 plus is set to double over the next 40 years, and the number of people aged 85 plus is expected to triple. We need to plan for this impact and opportunity now by adopting policies to support this ageing population and the valuable attributes they bring with it. After all, around half of all unpaid voluntary work is provided by people aged 55 plus. Over a quarter of this work is provided by people aged 70 plus. Where would we be without older Australians to volunteer, care and give?
It's a good question, Ross, and a perfect segue to this incredible man sitting here beside us. Brother Olly, 2025 Senior Australian of the Year and founder of Wheelchairs for Kids. Since its inception in 1996, Wheelchairs for Kids, made up of more than 250 workshop volunteers with an average age of 74 years, has gifted more than 60,000 custom-built wheelchairs to children in more than 80 countries. Recently, both Ross and I were fortunate to visit Wheelchairs for Kids warehouse in Perth. It's an incredible operation, bigger and better than we could have ever imagined. Brother Olly, how did this all begin and how did you become part of this life-changing organisation that you're in today?
Well, Chris, it all goes back to a chap called Des Lawrence and his wife. They went to Fiji on a holiday and they saw little kids sitting on the ground who had cerebral palsy. And so he said, I'm going to do something about this. So he came back to Brisbane and to his Rotary Club, and he had an idea of making these wheelchairs very simply out of used bike parts. So he made 5 and he took them back to Fiji with his wife through the courtesy of Cathay Pacific, took them back. And he saw the smiles on the kids' faces when they put them into these wheelchairs. And he said, oh gee, this is good. He said, there must be other kids in the world that need a wheelchair. And he said, I wonder if any other Rotary Club in Australia could help. And the Rotary Club of Scarborough said they'd only be too pleased to give it a go. And that's how they approached me. I was working with young people who dropped out of mainstream schooling. And we had a welding shop down in Wangara. And 4 of the members of the Rotary Club of Scarborough approached me. And that's how it all started as far as I was concerned.
Brother Olly, that's quite a journey. Wheelchairs for Kids embodies and exemplifies the very essence of NSA's Experience Matters campaign. And with it, the potential of an undervalued cohort. NSA is delighted to partner with Wheelchairs for Kids to promote its life-changing work and to reinforce the value and contribution of older Australians.
So Brother Olly, can you tell us a little bit about what happens in the workshop and the atmosphere and the volunteers that turn up every week?
Yeah, sure, Ross. Yeah, we've got a fantastic group of volunteers up there. As you mentioned before, we've got 252 volunteers through the week, plus all the wonderful ladies who are outside the workshop doing the sewing. And even though we do some sewing in the workshop now, but we do a lot outside, and also the making of the rugs and the toys, which is a fantastic add-on to our wheelchair, as the occupational therapist tells us. And and our volunteers come from all walks of life. I think if you named a career, someone would be there. And they all get on so well together. It's a happy place to be. And so people, when they get their day, there's a Monday group, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday and Friday. Some come a bit more than once a week, but most come once a week, and they love it. And so once they start there, they just continue on. They're great, they make great friendships with each other. It's great for their mental well-being and also their physical development. after they finish their working life. And not only that, but they realise they're helping some little kid somewhere in the world they'll never meet to get off the ground, have some dignity as well as mobility, and get to school and then play with their friends.
What really impressed me the most was the care that everybody had for each other.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably something that you could comment on.
Yeah, well, that's very true, Ross, and I was so grateful that yourself and Chris came up to our factory to see the work that we do. Yeah, everyone looks out for each other. Yeah, we've even had first aid courses in our workshop. Every year we do that, and so every day there's at least 4 people with their first aid certificate to look after those who perhaps cut a finger, or which is very, very seldom. But if they need help, they can go to these people, and they know they're fully qualified. But not only that, but the people really make great friends with each other, and they certainly look out for each other. That's for sure. And our average age is about 74, and but some are older than that, and some are a bit younger. So, yeah, a real cross section of people, both men and women, on the assembly line.
When Chris and I visited the workshop, there were a number of people, employees from major organisations, who come down to join and visit and learn about volunteering and sharing.
Yeah, that's true, Ross. Yeah, sure, Ross. Yeah, we've had groups about 10 to 12 at a time from BHP, from Rio Tinto, from Woodside, and from Alcoa, and also some Mervac, and then a couple of accounting firms in the city. They come and they work amongst the volunteers, and they love it. By the end of the day, they go away happy. You know what I mean? They said, "This has been a wonderful experience for us. You know, so different from what the normal working day is." And they're so too pleased to come and work with their volunteers, not only to be amongst the older people, but also they know that they're helping little kids around the world who are far less fortunate than us.
There was a couple of younger people working in the workshop, and what's the origin of their involvement?
Right. That's a great question. Yeah, we have four volunteers every Wednesday from the year 10s from Chisholm College. They come up, 2 girls and 2 boys, and each week they're different people. And according to the teachers there, the kids love coming, and they really have to push them back a little bit because they don't all want to be on the roster. And then on Friday we get a different 4 people, young people, also from year 10. They come in from the Irene McCormick School up in Butler. And these groups have been coming for years. Other schools would also like to come in, but they're perhaps a bit far away or wherever. But they come in, might be 2 or 3 times a year, whereas these ones come every week. And we always welcome the young people. And isn't it great to know that some of these young people from these schools around about, they come in during the holiday time. They just want to be there, to volunteer their time. And I think that's great. And to see them working amongst the older people, young ones and the old ones, it really is really fulfilling, to see it all happen. And yeah.
And what do you think the opportunities would be for people in other parts of Australia to provide support to wheelchairs for kids? How would we go about organising that?
That's a good question. See, I don't know if people know, but we're the only ones in the world actually making this wheelchair, all done on the World Health Guidelines. Other countries pulled out, unfortunately. They don't know whether they found it too difficult or didn't have anyone to drive the project. But we do get a lot of help from Victoria, from the Rotary clubs in Victoria, through 2 wonderful ambassadors there. They raise money over there in Victoria. They have wheelathons with the schools over there and the Rotary clubs. And also we get a lot of help also from Rotary clubs in New South Wales who send over donations. And in fact, all the Rotary clubs in Australia on our board, there's the various Rotary clubs from all around Australia sending donations to help wheelchairs for kids. Yeah, Rotary is a marvellous organisation, and they all try to help each other, in projects that they take on. Yeah.
We can see that the story that you've told, Brother Olly, it's quite moving, and actually going to the factory and to see the the happiness that I guess that you spread through the workshop, and the good that comes from the work that the volunteers do. It is very inspiring, and I guess that what we can see, I guess, as national seniors, that our observation is that we can see in the volunteers the benefits that come in terms of their mental health, socialising with other people.
Yeah.
We can sort of see the benefits in terms of their physical health, that's improving the mobility. And I guess that just in general, the goodwill that you can sort of see that the people share, and that they're part of something bigger than just what they do themselves, sort of thing. And so I guess National Seniors, we're really proud to support Wheelchairs for Kids, and at every opportunity we certainly will be doing our best efforts to make sure that we promote Wheelchairs for Kids. And so all power to you, and we wish you every best in terms of the Wheelchairs for Kids going forward.
Well, thank you very much, Chris. That's wonderful words, and very encouraging, actually. And we're just trying to do our best to make a really good product, and to help these little kids around the world. They've got no hope of getting off the ground, and but now they're getting off the ground, having mobility as well as dignity, and be able to get to school.
Yes.
Yeah. So thank you very much, Chris. It's wonderful that you asked me to come along today.
Yeah, we're lovely that you had the opportunity to share your story with National Seniors Australia members. Incredibly important, and obviously whatever we can do to amplify the great story that you're doing, we're doing our best. Make sure that you volunteer, support your local community. That's incredibly important. Support organisations like Wheelchairs for Kids, and if you can't do it in person, donate. Incredibly important, because it's a very powerful thing that they do, not only just within Australia, this is impacting the globe.